Come with us.
As I said in the previous video, today I am bringing you a full review of Season 1 and Season 2 of Loki TV series. Have a good day, everyone. Loki is crazy. This is a series where both seasons can be watched continuously. So subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon to know the latest things about Marvel Universe as well as DC Universe. Now let's go to the review. Okay. While the first two Marvel Disney Plus shows, WandaVision and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, took place after the blip, Thanos, and the other universe-shattering events of the Infinity Saga, they never felt like they were really moving the MCU onto a new path, instead focusing on more introspective storylines. This is where Loki different. It has its fair share of soul-searching and character development but also takes us to new places to meet new people, not only making for an enjoyable watch in its own right but also providing excitement through the promise of what's to come. Loki begins where the titular trickster story ended in Avengers Endgame by introducing a big concept. He awakens from the sand of his own Art Deco version of Dune, surrounded by a squad of black-clad armored guards who quickly take him to the 1930s-like corridors of the Time Variance Authority headquarters. The first episode does a great job of getting us up to speed on the concepts of protecting the sacred timeline from unauthorized tampering by using Loki himself as a proxy for the audience as it's all explained to him. Tom Hiddleston is as good as ever as Loki, the Prince of Asgard, who finds himself a long way from home. He serves up his usual helping of charm and cheeky demeanor that we've come to expect from him, but this Loki is a little different from the one we've got so used to over the past few years. He's still that evil Loki, though not for too long, fresh off his defeat in the Battle of New York, who hasn't yet had the time to see the errors of his ways. This more headstrong Loki makes for a more entertaining centerpiece as he bounces off all who dare speak to him, and sparks fly in any conversation that remotely questions his authority. Apart from Loki himself, every other character is new to us, which helps the first few episodes feel fresh and exciting and in no way a rehash of what's come before. Early on, we're introduced to Gugu Mbatha Raw's Hunter B-15, an imposing presence who receives a neatly woven arc over the 6 episodes. Then there's Judge Ravana Renslayer, played by Gugu Mbatha Raw, higher up at the TVA, who is shrouded in mystery for much of the series, which unfortunately doesn't give her much of a chance to shine. The standout, though, has to be Owen Wilson's Agent Mobius, who brings a new lease of life to Loki every time he appears on screen, combining Wilson's signature dry delivery with a clever script that allows him to flourish and never fails to entertain. It's no coincidence then that the series' lowest point is episode 3, where we're robbed of the duo's dynamic, instead setting Loki on a branching path with a new companion. Loki's partnerships along the way are a key to what makes the show so enjoyable, and while he and Mobius together are the optimum pairing, Sophia Di Martino does a great job in her role too. She holds her own against Hiddleston, which is no mean feat, and grows as a character the closer to the finale we get. Episode 6 is perhaps the best Marvel TV episode to date, with a star turn from a standout new cast member who slows the pace down in favor of thrilling conversational staging. Compared to the pacey, action-packed events of the prior two, it's a finale that brings home those themes of trust and free will, delivering a philosophy and tension-filled last few minutes that have major consequences for the future of the MCU. The second half of the season also does a great job of showcasing a grand sense of scale. Showrunner Michael Waldron and director Kate Herron grant Loki a real sense of unique identity, mixing things familiar to us like Loki the character and raw human emotion with the more bizarre, such as a talking cartoon clock called Miss Minutes and a character who happens to be an alligator. The later episodes also definitely juggle a large cast of characters that play a brief but important role, chief among them Richard E. Grant, who lends gravitas to the story while wearing a delightfully absurd costume. All of this, in addition to the cinematography and score, combine to make a fresh and exciting style for an MCU story. It's ironic in a way that it's the show that starts off before all the others that's the one that lays the strongest foundations for the future, but if there's anything Loki has taught us over its 6-episode run, it's that time is very far from being a flat circle in this universe. Loki's 6 episodes overcome an uneven first half to become a great and exhilaratingly consequential season of television. While not having as strong an emotional core as WandaVision, its bold themes, standout performances, and unique visual identity deliver laughs and tension in large amounts. Most importantly, though, it ends on a high note that's not only exciting to watch as it plays out but opens up whole new universes of possibilities to look forward to. For in-depth breakdowns of all 6 episodes of Loki Season 1, show your satisfaction with a comment. Now we can turn into Loki Season 2. Loki Season 2 begins after Sylvie kills He Who Remain, and because of this, the Time Branchers start to divide uncontrollably. Does Season 2 provide the God of Mischief a newfound and much-needed sense of glorious purpose? Only one way to find out: legwork. Short answer: no, they could be, because he has to share more screen time than ever. After 2 years away in a cliffhanger that seemingly caused Marvel's timeline to spool into madness, Loki is back with a full cast in tow. Mobius is hungry for his next slice of key lime pie. One Mimo Saku's Hunter B-15 and Eugene Cordero's Casey have expanded roles to play, and Gugu Ambitha Ra's Ravana Renslayer is here in a renegade capacity alongside Miss Minutes, the floating cartoon clock with the voice of Tara Strong.
Welcome to the Time Variance Authority.
Jonathan Majors, He Who Remains, has also returned in a way as the Kang variant Victor Timely. The only person who hasn't made the leap between seasons is former director Kate Herron, replaced by Moon Knight's Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. It seems Herron has taken Loki's anything-goes approach with her. Season 1 was a modest foray into the multiverse, but it introduced memorable variants that spiced up what was otherwise 6 episodes of cosmic softball and gooey character reinvention. With Alligator Loki and Richard E. Grant's classic Loki being awesomely irreverent additions to the Marvel canon.
Hell, is there an alligator in here?
He's a Loki!
Sylvie and Loki formed a romantic bond while pursuing the Keeper's Oz-like creator, He Who Remains, who hid away in a castle at the end of time and eventually found himself on the business end of Sylvie's magic blade. His death scattered the timeline and proves Sylvie's arc to be the most consequential of Season 1. This season treads more cautiously. After realizing her purpose, Sylvie has smaller things in mind, like working at a rural McDonald's in 1982. Considering the corporate coziness of Disney and Mickey D's, seeing the chain's golden arches gobble up the screen as Sylvie works through her existential malaise feels exceptionally gross. It gives the impression that Loki has willingly devolved further into an obligatory moneymaker that plays safe with its otherworldly mischief and keeps its characters as one-note as possible so as not to rock the MCU boat. The McDonald's thing budges other aspects of Loki, like its production design, which otherwise remains the strongest element of the series. The meticulous recreation of the chain's circa 82 decor and uniforms is distracting, and it pales in comparison to the inventiveness of the TVAE's stiflingly bureaucratic clockwork layout, which in some spots of Season 2 resembles a vintage wood panel take on Men in Black. There's a nice quiet visit to the TVAE's Jetsons-esque automat so Mobius can score that slice of key lime pie, and the set shares the color motif with the commissary's surroundings that makes the scene visually pleasing. Spoiler mandates forbid getting into the season's nitty-gritty, but it's safe to say Loki has become more of an ensemble figure as other characters get a chance to, well, not grow exactly, but hit their one note loudly and often. It's all in service to the central thrust of the season, which focuses on the potential for these rogue variants, represented by Sylvie and Rafael Casal's Brad, to live their lives unpruned. That potential is dangled in front of characters like Mobius, who claims contentment with the TVA, though Wilson is a strong enough actor to convey the bit of doubt concealed by his hilarious mustache. "Those are people," Hunter exclaims repeatedly. What B-15 feels about her role in the TVA's rampant pruning has yet to be explored, but to be fair, she is sharing on-screen real estate with a few new recurring players. Chief among them is Ke Huy Quan as the TVAE's basement-dwelling repair guy, or Bureaus, whose jovial presence gives Mopey Season 2 a much-needed boost.
Do you think this is a higher priority than preventing a temporal meltdown?
No.
One is a conspicuous casting choice following his exploration of the multiverse in Everything Everywhere All at Once, but he can't lend any emotional gravity to the series' dutiful face setting because he's too busy feeding Loki and Mobius an endless stream of technical jargon. Now to Loki. He enters Season 2 with a new temporal malady that we can't really get into but bears mentioning because it furthers his increasingly stale function as a plot device. If nothing else, this new dilemma gives Hiddleston plenty of opportunities to flip his hair back, which seems to be his new thing all over the top, don't you think? I thought it was spot on. This Loki variant is a strange fit for Hiddleston, who has lost the villainous spring in a step that originally made the character so disarming. Alright, those expecting a new multiversally manic season of Loki should temper their expectations. I will stop for now. In the next video, I will bring the review of the last episode of Loki. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, subscribe now for my latest videos.